you can meet me on your mat in whatever feels like a nice and easy seat for you. And take this moment to pause and just connect with your breath and notice it. And perhaps you allow your hands to rest on a part of your body that just feels really nice right now. So perhaps that's your hands on your heart or your hands on your legs. Or perhaps if you can reach it, your hands on the floor, or perhaps you bring the floor to you by grabbing the blocks or some books. And we will begin this practice with 3 collective breaths. On the inhale, acknowledge the moment that you are coming from. And on the exhale, release that moment. Inhale, acknowledge the moment that we are in currently. And on the exhale, release that moment. And on the next inhale, invite in the moment that we are moving into. And on the exhale, release and allow yourself to arrive in this moment. And perhaps your eyes closed during that moment. So if so, they can remain closed during this part. And you can just listen to my voice and trust that however your body is telling you to move, it is the right way because it is the safe way in your body. On the inhale, allow the arms to come up and perhaps they meet a prayer at the top. And on the exhale, allow those hands to come through center and perhaps touch your heart. We'll do that 3 times. Allow this to be a full breath. On the inhale, allow the arms to make a full circle around you. Perhaps they catch a prayer at the top or stop straight up. And on the exhale, if you caught a prayer, allow it to come through center, perhaps touch the heart. 2 more like that, full breath at your own pace. And perhaps you can allow the inhale and the exhale to match in length. And 1 more full inhale. Perhaps you had a little stretch in that and feel that all throughout your body. And on the exhale, catch that prayer again. On the next inhale, we will still allow the arms to rise, but allow yourself to turn to the right and catch that twist, allowing the left hand to touch the right knee, and perhaps the right hand touches the low back or catches a block, or if the floor is close enough to you, you can allow your hand to rest on the floor. As you twist, take a deep inhale and allow yourself to lengthen through the crown. And on the exhale, twist a little deeper. Inhale, nice and easy, gently, lengthening through the crown of the head. And on the exhale, perhaps you found a centimeter more of twist. And on the next inhale, release the right arm, keeping the twist, but allow that right arm to come up in the air and find a side bend here, leaning into your left side. Take a deep inhale and perhaps roll the shoulder back a little to open up the chest. And exhale, sinking a little bit deeper into your left, finding a nice stretch in that right. Inhale, lengthen through the right. And exhale, perhaps engage that left oblique to bring yourself a little closer to the ground. 1 more deep inhale, filling the chest. And on the exhale, allow that right hand to now cross over the front body and make a X as you allow your chin to meet your chest and allow this to be a moment of introspection. Pour into yourself. Take a deep inhale. And exhale. Another deep, full inhale. And don't cheat the exhale. Let it be nice and easy as well. And on the next inhale, allow yourself to unravel, similar to the cat-cow spine, coming up nice and tall, lengthening through the crown of your head, and release that X. Perhaps you shake out the arms a little bit, roll the shoulders. And since we did it on one side, and if you did it, got mixed up on your directions, I do it all the time. So just go to the opposite side that you just did. And we'll start exactly like we did on the other side. Take a nice inhale, bringing both arms up. This time, allow the right hand to meet the left knee, and the left hand can meet your back or the block if that was comfortable. Play around. This side is not the same as the other side, so allow it to do what it needs to do. Take a deep inhale, lengthening through the crown of your head. On the exhale, maybe here you allow yourself to twist a little deeper. Another deep inhale. And on the exhale, find a little more relaxation and ease somewhere in your body. And on this inhale, release that left arm, allow it to come straight up towards the ceiling. Lengthen as much as you can before you begin that side bend to the right. Take a deep inhale here, opening up that side body. And on the exhale, perhaps you can unravel a little bit, find a little ease here. Another deep inhale. And exhale, really let go of something here. One more full inhale. And allow that left hand to cross over the front body again. Find that X and allow that head to really be heavy. In this pandemic, we overused our neck a lot due to staring at screens and zoom, 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 right? So allow your neck, if you can, but also be gentle to your body. So if you see some resistance, don't fight it. Enjoy the breath here. And on the next inhale, allow yourself to unravel and sit up nice and tall. From here, if you can meet me in a wonderful tabletop with your knees underneath your hips and your hands underneath your shoulders. Allow yourself to really see and look at your hands and see where what is and find yourself in space. Perhaps you allow the neck to be heavy here too. And now find that nice length of the crown of the head to point forward and the hands underneath the shoulders and the knees planted underneath the hips. And if you could, engage the hands into the ground. And as you engage, begin to push out through the shoulder blades and allow that to curl your spine, bringing your belly button closer to your spine and the tailbone under for your first cat pose. And on the inhale, allow yourself to drop those shoulder blades a little bit, curl the spine upwards, lift the chest, and take a nice full inhale for your cow pose. On the exhale, again, engage the hands into the ground, pushing away from the surface, and allow that spine to find a nice curl. Perhaps you find a little bit more of a curl here. And on the exhale, release that. Allow your belly button to come closer to the ground and tilt that tailbone upwards towards the ceiling. And now allow yourself to do whatever feels great in the body. Give yourself permission here. Perhaps you make some circles. Perhaps you make some S's. Whatever feels nice. And if you go one way, take this moment to go the opposite direction. And when you feel complete, find stillness back in tabletop. On the next inhale, reach the right arm towards the ceiling, finding a nice twist. On the exhale, loop the right arm under the left arm, bringing the shoulder blade closer to the ground for thread the needle. If this feels a little too close to the ground, remember we have blankets. If you need a pillow, bring the ground closer to you. But see if you can find this first gentle twist here. Take a nice inhale, exhale. Another deep inhale, exhale. And on the next inhale, allow yourself to unravel, reach up towards the ceiling again, and find that tabletop on the exhale. Going to the opposite side, take a nice full inhale, reaching the left hand towards the ceiling. On the exhale, thread it through the needle underneath that right arm. Allow the shoulder blade to meet the mat or the floor, wherever you are at. And find relaxation and ease in your body. Oftentimes, it's easier to find on the exhale. So allow it to weigh you down and become closer. One more full inhale and exhale here. And on the next inhale, allow yourself to unravel and come up, reach up towards the ceiling, tabletop again. Now, I also want us to do a little bit of a wrist exercise here. So let me see if you can see my wrist. You remain in tabletop, but I'm going to model with my hands towards the screen a little bit too. So at first, you're going to remain in tabletop and do a little lean forward, just with your body, and find that nice stretch in your wrists. Go as far as it feels okay and you feel supported. But we oftentimes have been using our wrist a lot in this environment. We'll hold it for 2 more breaths. And 1 more full one. And then release it back, child's pose. All right, friends. Now, what we're going to do is keep the left hand exactly as it was. Flip the right hand, right? So now this surface is facing the mat. Allow it to ground down, and you're gonna sit back in child's pose again and allow that gentle wrist stretch. You should be feeling it almost in the back of your wrist, through the forearm. Please be gentle here. You can play around with it too. I see some of you moving back and forth. If that feels great, allow that to happen, please. And on the exhale, you can release that. Sit back in child's pose again. Allow this to also be a moment of introspection and see if you feel a difference in the left and the right wrist. And come back up in tabletop. And as you know, if we did it on one side, we have to do it on the other. So flip that left wrist down as if you're like showing off you just got engaged or something. Hey, and put that into the ground. And do that sit back again and stretch that wrist. Notice if there's similarities or differences. Like I noticed my left wrist is a lot more flexible than my right. And that's okay. Another deep inhale. Exhale. Come up again, release it, and you can sit back in a nice child's pose. Allow the knees to be wide if that feels great. Allow the forehead to be in the ground. I would like to remind you that child's pose is an asana pose, so you can always find it throughout your practice whenever you like. Take a deep inhale. Exhale. And meet me back in tabletop. And from here, you can go straight back into downward facing dog, or you can do a little thing with me, which is a floating tabletop invitation to do this. Tuck the toes under in your tabletop. And what you're going to do is lift the knees about 3 inches off of the ground and float for a second. You probably feel those abs firing up because I do. We are going to take 3 fiery, burning discipline breaths here. Take a nice inhale and exhale. Feel free to go to downward facing dog when you are ready. That was our second breath. Take one more full one and then push back into downward facing dog. Sorry, my headpiece fell up. Whew, you probably feel those thighs, feel that abs fired up, so you can do a nice walk the dog, pedal the legs, whatever feels good to you. And then allow your feet to walk to the front of your mat to meet your hands. Be heavy here. Feet shoulder width distance apart or hips width distance apart. And remain in the forward fold. Perhaps you ragdoll here. Bend the knees to be gentle on the joints since this is our first forward fold of the day. And on the next inhale, begin to tuck the tailbone under the spine and engage the heels of the feet into the ground so that you can unravel as you stand. Allow the crown of the head to be the very last thing to come up. And you have arrived in Tadasana. Take a deep inhale. And exhale. Another deep full inhale. And exhale. On the next inhale, allow the arms to make a nice, large sun-sized circle around you. And if you catch a prayer at the top, wonderful. Hinge at the hips, pushing the tailbone towards the back of whatever room you are in. Allow yourself to find a forward fold. On the inhale, halfway lift. And on the exhale, bring the hands back down, yearning to reach towards the ground. And for a forward fold. And on the inhale, we're going to come all the way back up, bringing the arms around us again in a sun motion. Perhaps you find a prayer at the top to find a standing. And on the exhale, bring the arms back down by your side. That was a half sun salutation. We'll do that again. So again, inhale, big full sun size circle around the body. On the exhale, hinge at the hips, pushing the tailbone towards the back of the room. Allow the crown of the head to yearn towards the floor for a forward fold. On the inhale, bring the hands to the shins, raising them, going right around below the knees, straighten and flatten the back as if it was a table. And on the exhale, once again, forward folding, bringing the hands to yearn towards the ground. And on the inhale, we come to stand, making that sun-sized circle around us again. Prayer at the top, perhaps, if that feels great in the shoulders. And on the exhale, bring those hands through center. I need to take a step back and find some room because we are now going into our full sun salutation. So again, big circle on the inhale. Allow that to go around you. Allow the arms to go straight up, whatever feels great. Exhale, hinging at the hips, finding that forward fold. Hands touch the mat or blocks even here, whatever feels great. Halfway lift by allowing the hands to graze the shins and the back to be flat. On the exhale, bend the knees a lot if you need to so that the hands can meet the mat. Step the left foot back, step the right and then allow that knee to come down to the ground. And then step the right foot back so that we are in a supported plank. Wrap the biceps in closer to the body, and on the exhale, allow yourself to really lower mindfully as slowly as you can in this journey to the ground. That's how we get stronger. And on the inhale, lift the chest off of the ground, finding a slight back bend for a cobra. Engage the core here. Allow the hands to float off the ground for a second so that you can see if you're engaging the core. Yeah, they can come back to the mat now. And so can your full body. On the exhale, allow yourself to sink into the mat. Push back into tabletop if you need to at this moment, or child's pose if you need that, or you can go straight into a downward facing dog. Take a full inhale and exhale, and then allow the feet to take a mindful journey towards the front of the mat and your hands. Take a breath here. And on the next inhale, rise up again, standing in your extended mountain pose, Tadasana, hands by the side. Check in with your breath. Notice how this check-in might feel different from one earlier. On the next inhale, allow the arms to come straight up towards the sky. Perhaps find a nice slight back bend here. On the exhale, allow yourself to hinge at the hips, finding that forward fold again. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step the left foot back, step the right foot back to meet it. And then those knees can come to the mat again. Lower all the way down. Inhale, that same Cobra pose we found earlier. Exhale, back to tabletop or downward facing dog. On the next inhale, lift the right foot off of the mat. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, kick the heel towards the ceiling. Exhale, right knee to nose. Inhale one more time, heel to the ceiling. And see if you can bring that foot all the way through towards the center of your hands or as close as possible. Drop that back knee. Straighten out and unravel those toes. And on the inhale, bring the hands to the knee. Push up for a crescent lunge. Full inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, bring both hands to the mat, framing the foot, one on the left side, one on the right side. And on the next inhale, shift the weight to the left hand so that you can lift the right hand out off of the mat and bring it towards the ceiling. Inhale here. Exhale. Adjust the knee to make sure that it is over the ankle and still open for a lunge. Inhale. Exhale. One more deep inhale. And on the exhale, bring the hand to the mat. Walk the hands back towards the leg that is in the back, the left leg that is. And at this moment, I'm going to grab blocks. So I invite you as well to grab them if you would like them, so I can bring the ground a little closer to me for a half split. Take a deep inhale, lengthen through that spine, allow the crown to still be long. Even if you are hinging a little bit more forward, it should still be a long spine as opposed to a curve. Inhale. Exhale. And as gently as you can, begin to walk those hands towards that front foot. You can unravel here. Bring that front knee to meet the back knee. Let's push up into our downward facing dog. And if we did it on one side, we will do it on the other. So inhale, lifting the left heel towards the ceiling. And on the exhale, bring that left knee to nose. Again, left inhale, heel to ceiling. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, left heel to ceiling. Exhale, bring that foot as far through as we can. And perhaps you give it a little boost at the end. Unravel that back, untuck that back toe. Hands framing the front foot. When you feel sturdy, you may push up and find that low lunge. When you feel sturdy in this position, arms cactus, arms straight up, whatever feels great to you. Maybe it feels different on each side. Allow the inhale to open the chest. Exhale. Inhale, opening the chest. Exhale, hands frame the foot. Allow the front toes to point towards the ceiling. Hands to the blocks by your side at this moment. It is a good time. Or hands to the ground. Or hands on books. Take a full inhale to lengthen the spine. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And we can unravel. Meet me in tabletop or downward facing dog. And at this moment, walk the feet towards the front of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the mat. Inhale that full circle around the body as you come up to stand. Exhale, hands through center. And meet me in Tadasana. On the inhale, place the hands on the hips. Shift the weight into the right foot. Come out of the left foot some. Gently bend that right knee and step that left foot back for a high lunge. Inhale the arms up. And on the exhale, allow that left foot to open up for your warrior two pose. Full inhale. Exhale. Spin the left pinky toe down into the ground. This is a great time for a chair. I love warrior two on a chair, genuinely. So this is a great time for that too. Spin the right knee a little bit open. See if your hips are open. You can play around with that back foot to adjust to see how open you can be. Look at the front hand. See if it is level with the back hand. I won't do this for much longer. I will give you one more breath here. Exhale. And then flip that front palm, lean slightly forward, and then bring the front palm all the way up towards the sky as the left hand slides to the thigh, perhaps to the low back for your peaceful warrior pose. Check in with the knee. Sometimes it begins to lean a little bit inward during that transition. You've got this. If you feel that thigh just talking to you, it's letting you know you got it. One more deep inhale. And on the exhale, bring that forearm to the leg, but try not to lean too much into the leg. And inhale that left hand up in a position that feels amazing. So maybe it's overhead or perhaps towards the sky. Lift that left arm up that's in the leg. I want to make sure you're not putting all your weight there. Yeah. Good. Great. One more inhale. Exhale. Inhale, come up for that warrior. And we will transition back into our high lunge. So you can inhale, square the hips, coming up on the back toe. Exhale, bring those hands to hips so that you can balance yourself. You might hinge here, and we'll begin to put that weight back into our right foot. Is your right leg letting you know it's there? Shake it off. And now we gotta let our left leg know that we know it's there too. So we're gonna shift that weight into our left leg. And we hinge a little bit, bend that foot so that we can step that right foot back and come into a high lunge. Inhaling the arms up here. On the exhale, spin that pinky toe back into the mat and allow that right knee to be over that ankle. Check in with yourself. Look at the front hand. Look at the back hand. Just notice where your body is in space. And just breathe. It's called the warrior pose because you are a warrior. Don't you feel like one when you're in it? Take an inhale, spin that front hand upwards, hinge a little bit forward, and then lift it towards the ceiling. Right hand might be on the back side, low back. Allow the spine to still be tall. Check in with that front knee to ensure that it's still the same legs that we had in our warrior. One more full inhale here. And on the exhale, we find extended side angle, making sure that we are not putting all of our weight in that front leg. Bringing the arm where it feels great in our bodies today. Perhaps it's the same as the other side, maybe it's a little different. Enjoy the breath here because it's almost over. And on the exhale, we come back up. We find our lunge, hands on hips for stability. Come back forward. Right meets left. Shimmy, shimmy, shimmy. We'll do another round of that, but it'll be a little quicker and we'll have some more poses on that. So we'll do it again from this area. Stepping the left foot back, finding stability on our hips a little bit, hinging, bending. Left foot back for our wonderful high lunge. High lunge is a transition pose, inhaling the arms up as we open up for warrior two. Full inhale here. Exhale. Inhale, flip the front palm up and then begin to go into your warrior, peaceful warrior here. On the exhale, bring that forearm to the front leg. Inhale the back arm up towards the ceiling. Inhale. And on the exhale, we are going to do a swoop forward, facing the side of your mat, coming in for a wide-legged forward fold. Pigeon toe the toes inward a little bit as to protect the knees. Allow the legs to be where they were. Maybe that wasn't a great position. You're like, woo, my legs were a little too wide. Bring them in. Or maybe it's not wide enough. Bring them out. Take a deep inhale. Exhale. Inhale for a halfway lift. Exhale, bring yourself back down. Bring the heels back in. Before it was pigeon-toed, now maybe a little slew-footed. And see if you can push yourself up and come into a goddess pose. Goddess pose is nice and full. You can also do this with a chair, on the wall, anything that you're looking at that you're like, maybe I could do it on this. Yeah, you can. Inhale. Exhale, the hands to hips, push yourself up. We'll swivel ourselves back forward into that high lunge. And then we can bring our feet to meet one another. Give yourself a wiggle. And then we'll do it on the other side. Step the right foot back for that high lunge. You know what we're going into, opening up for warrior two. Full inhale, full exhale. Let go. Maybe make a sound. You're in your house. Go ahead. One more full inhale. Maybe make a louder sound. Inhale, flip that front palm up. Lean back for your peaceful warrior. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, forearm to front leg. Inhaling that right back arm up. Wherever feels good. Maybe it's a little different. On the exhale, give yourself that nice swoop forward for that wide-legged forward fold towards the side of your mat. Adjust your feet as you may, but allow the toes to be pigeon-toed to protect the knees. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Bring the heels in a little closer to one another. Point the toes out. And if you can push up from here, bring the hands to the hips. Find a nice goddess pose. Again, you may need to adjust the legs there. Cactus arms, straight up arms, whatever feels great. I think I'm finding cactus today. Full inhale. Exhale. One more full inhale. Exhale, we find our high lunge again. Hands to hips. Step that right foot to meet the left foot. We are standing back into Tadasana. Shake, shake, shake. All right, wonderful people. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, begin to bring the tailbone a little closer to the ground with your feet hips width distance apart for a chair pose. I won't keep you here too long, but again, our legs are cheering for us. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, you got this. Inhale. Exhale, see if you can sit a little deeper. Your legs are cheering you on. That's what they want. They want you to sit deeper. And on the exhale, swan dive forward. Come up a little bit on the toes. And then bring the heels closer to the ground. And come up to the screen and let's give some high fives to our friends because we just did a lot. Aren't you proud of everyone? They like just did that. So we'll do one more really because like y'all, we have done so many great things over this time. So I want y'all to feel the feel of like flying right now, right? So whatever you need to do to get, you're in your home. So if you got to grab your bed, my couches are here. So this is what I'm going to use as my prop right now. We're going to do Warrior 3. Warrior 3 is one of my favorites because it makes me feel like a flying. I want you to just really imagine it. I see people grabbing some amazing props and we're really going to cheer each other on. So in Warrior 3, we are going to ground down into our left foot. Allow that weight to shift there. And place your hands on your hips. And hinge at the hips, bringing the right foot up, heel towards the ceiling. You're going to get a flat back. Right around here, I'm grabbing my prop. Allow yourself to be flat. Some of you might have the 2 blocks that can still allow you to be closer to the ground there. And some of you just want to be flyers, and that's okay too. And your arms could be back, or your arms could be in prayer. And if you fall out of it, you can always get back in it. And you got this. One more full inhale and exhale. Bring that foot back down and meet it. Shake it out. Don't you feel like a strong flying warrior? Great person, because you are. With that being said, we got to do it on the other side. And then we're going to cheer on everyone. Shift that weight to the right foot. And then again, hands on the hips, perhaps for stability. Hinging, hinging, hinging. Wherever you need to find your prop, you find it. Find that balance. Hips are still square. Heel up. Check in with your back. play your superhero flying music in your head. Get those cheerleaders really, really loud. And on the exhale, release that. And let's celebrate our friends. Come up to the screen. Let's get some high fives. They all did it. You all did it. We all did it together. Yeah. All right, friends. So we're going to begin winding down. So if you can meet me on your tummies or on your front side. And we're going to do a little back bend. So we're going to start with that Cobra we found earlier in our vinyasa. So bring the hands in a little bit closer to the rib cage. And again, engage the core so that the chest begins to lift from the ground. Inhale here. See if it's different. Maybe you can get up a little higher here. Exhale. Continue to breathe. You can smile too. That's okay. Take a nice inhale. And exhale, bring yourself closer to the ground. Adjust the elbows so that now they are closer to the rib cage. And on the next inhale, see if you can also find Cobra again if you're like, ooh, this is a lot. Especially if you have like a really sticky back. So sticky back. So bring your elbows up, hands in the ground, engage those legs into the ground as well as to protect the low back. You don't want to crush that sacrum. For Sphinx Pose, inhale. You get it? You see it? Do you see the Sphinx? Like think about Egypt and like, you get it now? Okay. Take a deep inhale. Exhale. Full inhale. And exhale, lower yourself to the ground. And when you feel complete there, roll yourself over to your backs. We're getting close, friends. You know where we're getting close to. Find constructive rest here, which means that the feet are hips width distance apart. The knees are touching, slightly kissing one another. Perhaps you place the hands on the body to add a little bit more weight so that you can feel yourself sinking into the ground. So maybe a hand on the heart, hand on the solar plexus. Take 3 full breaths here, reflecting on the journey that you just, kind of took. I know it's not over, but sometimes we just wait to the end to look at the journey, and that's not okay. Like we can stop in the middle. 3/4 of the way. All right, friends. Keep the feet hips width distance apart, but the knees are towards the ceiling. Find a figure 4 with that right foot ankle right above that left knee. Figure 4ing right here for a supine pigeon. Some of you might want to loop the hands through the legs and behind that left leg if you want to find a little bit of a deeper stretch. Inhale. Exhale. Full inhale. Exhale, bring the left foot back down to the ground if it was up. And you can release that right ankle from crossing like you were reading a magazine in the doctor's office. And now let's do it on the other side. Inhale, bring that left foot up, crossing it over like magazine in the doctor's office. And if you want to loop your hands through the center and bring your leg closer to you, I'm a little tighter on this side. So this is what I got today here right now. And that is wonderful. Maybe you're the same, you notice some difference from left to right. Just notice it. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And if you were looped, unloop and find those feet back into the ground. For our last pose, before our final pose, bring the knees closer to the chest and allow the heels of the feet to point towards the ceiling, wherever you're at. The hands can go behind the thighs, or perhaps they loop through and grab the outsides of your feet for happy baby. And come on, friends, like if you got a grimace on your face, I said happy baby. Yeah, breathe, have fun, enjoy. Play around a little bit. And when you're ready, bring the legs in a little bit. Give yourself a nice hug and find your final pose, which for some may be Shavasana. Some of you might be legs up the wall. That's also a beautiful pose. Legs up a chair is also nice. If you don't want to be straight on your back, I tend to put like a little blanket to give myself elevation on my back. But the point is to find relaxation and ease somewhere in your body. And once you find that position, I would like to guide you through a little bit of an exercise to invite in a little bit more relaxation. So find the pose that you would like to be in at this moment. And we'll do a little tense and release so that we can relax a little bit. So wherever you're at, bring the awareness to the toes and the feet and allow yourself to find tension there. So clench your toes as if you're like, if you can make a fist with your toes, you're making a fist with your toes. So clench, clench, clench. Tighter than that, squeeze it a little bit more. Tight, tight, tight. Squeeze, 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 and then release that. And then whatever tension you just found in your foot, allow yourself to find that tension in your legs again. So like in your calves, like you're lifting weights, allow yourself to find that tension and just squeeze. Tight, tight, tight. And then release all of that. Let go of all of that that you were just holding on to in the legs. And we'll do the same thing in the arms. Start with the fist. Tight, tight, tight. Ball it up, bring it up to the arms. Tight, tight, tight. Up to the fist, the forearms, the biceps, triceps, engage the arms. Maybe the shoulder blades even get a little bit of the action. And on your exhale, just let go of all of that. And now, find a little tension in the face without clenching the jaw, but more so as if you walked into a 7th grade classroom after lunchtime and recess. So as if you were smelling, just tense up the face, scrunch up the nose, eyebrows, find that tension there, scrunch, 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 but don't clench the jaw, and release that. And I invite you for just one more tension, full body tension. Just if you were holding on to something, grab it one last time. Tension, tension, tension. You feel that resistance, feel that constriction in your body. And in this moment, on the exhale, just let it all go and sink into the ground beneath you and let it support you. For your final pose, Shavasana. Perhaps you can find some movement in the toes. Perhaps you can find some movement in the fingers. Maybe give yourself a nice full morning stretch, like that first one, reaching above the head. And then on the exhale, maybe give yourself a nice hug. And you can roll over to your side if you aren't seated up yet. Whichever side feels great. And if you can meet me in a seated position, if it feels comfortable to you, hold your heart for a second. And really allow this to be a moment of gratitude for yourself. You could have done anything during this time, but what you chose was yourself. So really, 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 really thank yourself right now. I know a lot of you are like, thank you, Brie. That was exactly what no, you showed up. You did that. And we will end this practice with 3 collective breaths. Allow the first one to really, really, really be for you, like really, really be for you, whatever that means. Let the next one be for this space that we created together, for this evening that we did together, and send that love out. And one more really, 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 really full breath for whomever you think might need a little breath today. And you can give that to them because they'll receive it. And then I would like to end this practice by saying, Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. May all humans and beings all everywhere be happy, and may the actions that I do and the words that I say impact that happiness, that healthiness, that joy. Thank you so much, friends, for joining me.